Hey there everyone, just want to make a real quick casual video just telling you everything that's going on with 82 GT, tell you a little bit about my 78 King Cobra, and just tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Sean, I'm 26, currently in school, currently studying engineering technology at the local community college. Went to Iowa State University for a couple years for engineering. That didn't work out for me. University format's just not good for me. I'm not a really good learner, reading out of books and everything like that. Definitely more of a hands-on learner. Do a little bit of fabrication, a little bit of body work, a little bit of mechanical. Like to do all my work myself. I just want to take a quick second to let you guys know what's going on with the 82 GT. Tell you a little bit about my 1978 King Cobra, and then just give you guys basically a little bit of direction where the car is going to go. I think tell you a little bit about this car, about our history with Mustangs. I guess basically let's just jump right into it. So it was either 1983 or 1984. My dad traded in a couple cars that he had for a 1980 Mustang Cobra, black and green. I think so. If it was 1983, he would have been 19 at the time, 19 or 20. So he got the car, and it had originally a 4-cylinder turbo car. He ended up blowing that up and had somebody swap in a 289 from, say, a 66 or 67 Mustang. That's kind of the vibe that I got from all the part numbers off that engine. But basically had it, babied it around ever since. Had it since 1983, 84. Had it, I basically still has it. He ended up giving it to my brother, but he always told us when we were growing up, I mean, me and my brother thought that car was the bee's knees. We thought we were the hot kids on the block whenever he'd give us a ride to school in it or anything like that, whenever he'd give us a ride just in general, I guess. Every time we talk about it though, every once in a while, my dad would always bring up that he really wished he would have gotten an 82 GT. He said he always told us he remembered seeing him on the showroom floor when he had his car, and he really wished he would have had him. He would have had one of those instead of having his car, and he always wanted the dark red T-top car, fully optioned, and that's what he always told us he wanted. So fast forward all the way up until 2010, we picked up my 78 King Cobra, and he always wanted to restore a car with me and my brother, and he just so happened to be able to do it for me at the time. He had just fallen off of a roof, shattered a couple vertebrae in his back, so I was very lucky to get to be able to do that with him. I learned a lot from that car. I obviously still have it today. It used to obviously look a lot nicer than it does now. It was fully painted, running and driving car. I mean, it needed some things. It was just a bare bones restoration, but it was a super clean car, hardly any rust. Then fast forward to, it's probably 2018 or 2019. My dad basically ended up giving my brother his Cobra, and so at that point, he always, him and I kind of discussed that we wanted to get him a car that we could restore for him, and it could be really anything. He's kind of keen on something from the late 60s, early 70s. But fortunately, my brother ended up finding a 82 GT for sale. It was in somewhere southern Wisconsin. It was about an hour away from here. It was medium red, T-top car, black interior, but it was kind of a rust bucket. It needed floor pans at the time. So he dug right into it, I guess. I didn't really help him a lot in the beginning, but then towards the end, I put a motor together for it. I painted the car for him. Basically, I had to do a lot of it together, and it was a lot nicer doing it this time around because I had a lot more knowledge. It was a lot more of a mutual collaboration versus him doing it, me watching, which, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us, anybody who's worked on cars with their dad knows, hold the light right here, hold it where I can see it, not where you can see it. Got to restoring his 82 GT, and we finished it up the end of last season. It's now 2021. Finished it up probably late September last year, September of 2020. It needed a couple small things, but I mean, I would say it was 95% of the way done. It needed the body side moldings put on. Just need a couple things buttoned up. But since then, after we got done with that, I've been looking for a 79 to 85 4-eye Fox body for myself. And I looked all over the country and I couldn't find anything. I found a couple cars, but none of them were worth what people were asking for them, and most of them needed a lot of work. So the way it usually works out is that you end up finding something when you're not looking for it, and that's definitely what ended up happening with my 82 GT. So that brings us to the 82 GT then. I ended up getting this car from my girlfriend's uncle. She's originally from Colorado, so we were in Colorado over New Year's weekend. We're sitting there playing cards with their family, and her dad asked me about my King Cobra and how that was going, and then talked about it for a little bit, and then her mom ended up talking about how her brother had a Mustang, and she said I think she said it was an 82. But from what she was describing, it sounded a lot like it was an 82 GT, and I asked her, do you think he'd ever sell it? And she was pretty firm on that he never would sell it. So I told her what we ended up doing with my dad's car and how well that came out, and I was going to show her some stuff about that. Because I was interested in either buying the car from Chris or restoring it for him, offering my services. And I ended up adding Chris as a friend on our way home, and he accepted my friend request on Facebook. So I sent him a message, and I talked to him, asked him if he had an 82 Mustang. He said, yes, I do. And I poked at him a little bit to get a little bit more information about the car, and asked him if it was for sale, if he'd ever consider selling it, and he said, yeah, I probably would. So on the way home, getting a little bit more information from him, I don't really hear from him until the next day. He sends me a couple pictures of it, and as you could see from the last video, it was not rough, but it was very dirty, needs some help. So that was on January 5th when I heard from him about the pictures. I talked to him that night. It was probably about 4:30 that night. Asked him, we're trying to agree on a price. I won't say in the video, but the price that he told me was too good to be true, and it could have been a complete rust bucket, and I still would have gone to get it. The problem is, I live in Iowa. I live on the east side of Iowa, so it's across Iowa, Nebraska, and a little bit into Colorado is where they live. So, like I said, the price is too good to pass up. So after him and I get off the phone, I told him I'll be there first thing in the morning to pick it up. So that was on a Monday night. It was 4:30. U-Haul closed at 5, so I hauled ass over to U-Haul to get a trailer to pick it up. Me and my mom drove through the night. We left probably about 10:30 that night, and we got there the next morning. I think it was like 9 or 9:30 we got there. Got the car. It went pretty smooth, surprisingly. Usually, with my luck, something would have gone wrong, lost a tire or something like that. So it went pretty smooth. We got back. It would have been basically Wednesday morning. It's like 12:30 Wednesday morning. So we made it to Colorado and back as like 26 hours, and that's with loading the car up. We left 10:30 Monday night, came back 12:30 Wednesday morning. So it was a pretty fast drive. We didn't really do a whole lot of messing around, mainly because when we were somewhere that we could stop, it was basically past the point of everything being open, so everything was closed, which is kind of nice. The roads were pretty quiet. The only thing that really came up was on the way back. We hit a pretty solid snowstorm, basically from Council Bluffs all the way to Des Moines, which is like an hour-and-a-half stretch. So it took what would have taken us an hour and a half to 2 or 2.5 hours. So get it home, clean it up a little bit like you saw, and that basically brings us to now. Right now the car's got the interior out of it. I started buffing it up. It actually cleaned up pretty nice. The car's been painted once before, so I'm not really too concerned if I burn through the paint in the spot. I'll end up painting it at some point. There's just a couple cars that are in line in front of it, my King Cobra being one of them. The nice thing about this car is it was complete. It ran when he parked it. I asked him a little bit about why he parked it in the first place, because usually you would think it'd be a catastrophic failure or something like that. He said it just started running rough, and he wanted something with a little less miles on it, so he got himself something new and parked it. So, I mean, I haven't gotten to start it yet. That's the next thing on the agenda, on the docket. Basically, I just want to get this thing running and driving so I can have a hot rod to drive for the summer. As you'll see in my upcoming videos, we got the interior out of it, most of the rat's nests out of it. There's one back here right at the fuel filler neck It's kind of hard to get to. I'll have to drop the tank to get to that one, but nearly all of it's out of the car, so that worked out pretty well. Got a couple new parts for it we're going to swap out. I want to keep it mostly original. I got a new dash for it because the dash that was in it had the radio hole cut out of it like 95% of Fox bodies do. But I want it to look mostly original. They make basically factory replacement radios that have Bluetooth integrated but still look like the factory square hole radio. So that's where we're at right now. Like I said, just want to get it running and driving. Once I have the dash harness back in, I can start the car, and we'll go from there, I guess. So I guess I'd like to know what you guys think. You know, what do you want to see done with the car? If you were in this situation, what would you want to do? Would you keep it all original? I mean, this car is original down to all the smog equipment still on it, which is really surprising. Still has catalytic converters on it. It has factory air cleaner. From what I know, the stock engine. All the smog stuff still on it, like I said, which is usually the first thing that gets torn off these cars. You know, so like I said, what would you guys want to do? What, if you had this car, what would you want to see done? Right now, I'm probably just going to end up doing a 5-lug swap on it, putting some decent looking wheels on it. Not that I don't like these wheels, because I actually do like these wheels a lot. I just don't like the 14s. Probably end up with some 17s on it. I was thinking some FR 500s. Gonna get the car buffed up, looking presentable. It's got a lot of dirt basically embedded into the paint, so it needs a really good cleaning. I got the back of the car looking pretty solid. This still has to get painted yet, so that's something else on the agenda. I wanted to paint the body side moldings again. We'll get the interior back in it, get it running and driving, make sure all the mechanical systems are up to snuff so that I could drive it a decent ways and not have to worry about anything. In the end, I kind of wanted to Coyote swap it. The Coyote is just kind of the king dingling right now, but you know, that might change in the coming years. We'll see what Ford comes out with. That's what I ended up doing with my King Cobra. I'll detail that in a future video, because that's a lot of Mustang 2 guys find that interesting, but as most people know that like Mustangs, not very many people like the Mustang 2s. So but like I said, we'll do a video on this, highlighting what I have done so far, what's still left to do, because it looks like a lot, but in theory it's not. This car is obviously a lot closer to being done, which is why this one's sitting by the wayside, so I can get this one running and driving, so I have something to drive. But yeah, that's where we're at for now. So leave a comment, you know, shoot me a message, whatever you feel, whatever suits your fancy. Let me know what you think. I'd like to keep it as original as I can, but at the same time, original only matters if you're going to sell a car. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.